At the turn of the millennium, there was one company that ruled the mobile world with absolute authority: Nokia. Before smartphones existed, before apps reshaped daily life, and before touchscreens became normal, Nokia was not just a phone brand. It was the mobile phone industry. In the early 2000s, Nokia controlled more than 40% of the global mobile phone market. In some regions, especially Europe, Asia, and Africa, that number crossed 70%. No technology company before or after has ever dominated consumer hardware at that scale. Apple, at the height of the iPhone's success, never reached this level of dominance. Nokia phones were everywhere. From executives in New York to farmers in rural India, from students in Pakistan to factory workers in Africa, Nokia connected the world. The iconic ringtone echoed across streets, offices, buses, and homes. The slogan, "Connecting People," wasn't just branding. It was reality. Nokia phones were simple, reliable, and nearly indestructible. People joked that a Nokia could survive anything: drops, dust, water, even accidents, and the joke was often true. This reliability built unmatched trust. When people bought a Nokia, they didn't worry if it would work. They knew it would. Nokia didn't win by building one perfect phone. It won by building hundreds of models for every possible customer. Cheap phones, premium phones, business phones, music phones, camera phones. Nokia's manufacturing system was legendary. Its factories operated with military precision. Its supply chain was the most efficient in the world. If a new feature became popular, Nokia could design, manufacture, and ship a phone faster than any competitor. Carriers loved Nokia because it delivered on time. Retailers loved Nokia because its phones sold themselves. Governments admired Nokia because it created jobs and exports. In Finland, Nokia became a national hero. At its peak, the company contributed nearly 4% of Finland's GDP and over 20% of its exports. Inside Nokia headquarters, confidence wasn't just high, it was absolute. They didn't believe they were winning. They believed they were untouchable. While Nokia mastered hardware and manufacturing, it quietly ignored something far more important: software. Nokia's operating system, Symbian, had been designed for simple phones, calls, texts, and basic features. Over time, engineers tried to adapt it for more advanced devices, but Symbian was never built for the future. It was complex, slow to update, and difficult for developers to work with. Inside Nokia, software teams were divided into silos. Different departments worked on different versions of Symbian, creating chaos instead of innovation. Simple changes took months. Big changes took years. Engineers warned management that Symbian was outdated, but leadership dismissed the concerns. Why fix what wasn't broken? Nokia phones were still selling in massive numbers. Profits were strong. Market share was stable. In Nokia's mind, software was secondary. Hardware was king. That belief would prove fatal. In January 2007, Steve Jobs walked onto a stage and changed the future of technology. He introduced the iPhone. Inside Nokia, the first reaction was not fear, it was laughter. No physical keyboard, no removable battery, no expandable storage, only one model. To Nokia executives, the iPhone looked like a toy, expensive, fragile, and impractical. They believed it would appeal only to a small niche. What Nokia failed to understand was that Apple wasn't selling a phone. Apple was selling a computer in your pocket. Touchscreens, smooth animations, full internet browsing, and later, apps, redefined what a phone could be. Nokia saw the iPhone as just another competitor. The world saw it as a revolution. As Apple gained momentum, panic slowly spread inside Nokia. But instead of encouraging innovation, fear took control. Middle managers avoided risks to protect their careers. Engineers stopped sharing bad news. Teams competed internally instead of collaborating. Nokia had brilliant engineers, but the company culture punished failure. People were afraid to challenge leadership, afraid to question Symbian, afraid to suggest radical changes. Decision-making slowed down even more. By the time problems reached the top, it was already too late. While Nokia struggled internally, Google launched Android. Android offered what Nokia couldn't: a modern operating system, a growing app ecosystem, flexibility for manufacturers, rapid innovation. Samsung, HTC, and other companies adopted Android quickly. Within a few years, Android phones improved at lightning speed. Nokia, once the fastest manufacturer in the world, suddenly became the slowest to adapt. The market was no longer about hardware alone. It was about ecosystems. Apps, developers, services, and user experience now mattered more than durability. Nokia was fighting a new war with old weapons. Realizing Symbian was failing, Nokia rushed to create alternatives. They worked on MeeGo, a modern operating system with potential, but internal conflicts and delays killed it before it could mature. Then came the biggest gamble. In 2011, Nokia partnered with Microsoft and adopted Windows Phone as its primary platform. The decision shocked the industry. Nokia abandoned its own systems and tied its future to an unproven ecosystem. The result was disastrous. Windows Phone lacked apps. Developers ignored it. Consumers avoided it. Sales collapsed. Nokia's market share fell from over 40% to single digits in just a few years. By 2013, the unthinkable happened. Nokia sold its mobile phone division to Microsoft. The company that once defined mobile phones was no longer in the phone business. Factories shut down. Thousands lost jobs. A global empire disappeared. Microsoft itself would later admit failure and write off billions of dollars. The fall was complete. Nokia didn't fail because it lacked talent. It failed because it ignored software. It feared change. It protected hierarchy over innovation. It underestimated disruption. It reacted instead of leading. Nokia optimized for the past while the world moved toward the future. Nokia's story is not about technology. It's about mindset. Market leaders don't fall because they are weak. They fall because they stop listening, stop experimenting, and stop questioning success. In business, dominance is temporary. Adaptation is everything. Today, Nokia still exists as a network and telecom company. But its phone empire is gone forever, and its story stands as one of the most powerful warnings in business history. No matter how big you are, the future doesn't wait.